Right, really quickly before this video starts, can I just clear this one thing up? When this video first popped up, did you think this was a Macklemore coat? I'm very conscientious of people thinking that this is a Macklemore coat. I mean, I bought it a few months ago, like way after Thrift Shop came out. But I don't want people seeing me on the street and thinking, oh, this guy's got a Macklemore coat. It's kind of going for a hipster sheep herder kind of look. And the worst bit, I did actually buy this at a thrift shop. That's better. Hi everyone and welcome to Cav Chats. Cav Chats is a vlog brought to you every Tuesday and Saturday by the Knife and Fork Factory with me, your host, Johnny Beach. Episode number 3, top 5 music documentaries. It's complete coincidence that we were planning to do this video for this week, but then we found out arguably the biggest music documentary in quite some time is actually coming out this week. I doubt you've been able to avoid any of these articles about Montage of Heck, the new Cobain documentary that's coming out. And I'm excited, I think it's going to be really good. I've also got one coming out later this year about Amy Winehouse, which I think is about time that we got a documentary about Amy. I think it's really great source material and it can make for a really interesting film. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to music documentaries. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to most things, but music documentaries in particular. So what I've put together now for you is a top 5 list of music documentaries. These are my favourite music documentaries, not the best documentaries. I've seen Searching for Sugar Man. I've seen Anvil, the Story of Anvil. They're both very dope, but they're not in this list because personally there are some that I prefer just a little bit more. Okay, so let's get to it. At number 5 I put Blur, No Distance Left to Run, which is the documentary about their reunion in 2009 when they were going to headline Hyde Park. Directed by a pair called 32, which is Dylan Southern and Will Lovelace. The film itself is fantastic. I am a massive Blur fan, and to me, you are either an Oasis person or a Blur person if you're into your indie, and for me, it's Blur. Just weird because I'm a northern boy. The film sheds light on the weird relationship between Damon Albarn and Graham Coxon. They're one of those relationships in indie music where they have a very kind of relationship, but at the same time, their songwriting is so superb that it's magic when it's in the studio. It's a complex, collaborative relationship, and the film does a really good job of bringing it to the surface, and their interview segments are really candid about everything. The film's half and half. It's rehearsals for about half of the film, getting back together and reacquainting themselves with themselves. And now's the perfect time to check this film out, actually, because Blur are putting out their new album very, very, very soon. By the time we put this video out, I think it will be out this week. It's called The Magic Whip, and I have no doubts that it's going to be amazing. So when that album comes out, check it out and check this film out to get an idea of the artists before you check out the art. This film, or the reunion, was probably the catalyst that led to this new album getting made. So it's good to see the context of it at the very beginning. 4. Number 4 is The Libertines, There Are No Innocent Bystanders. It was a film made by Roger Sargent, who is a photographer, worked with loads of artists, but is a long-time collaborator with the Libertines themselves. They're doing a co-headline slot at Reading and Leeds in 2010. And that's the basis behind this documentary, them coming back for the big reunion for it. It would take a film to really delve into what the deal is with Carl Barrett and Pete Doherty. Sometimes they're best mates, sometimes they're bitter enemies, but you can't deny that when they're together, they make cracking tunes. Whereas the Blur film is a sort of 50-50 between archive material and stuff about the reunion, this Libertines one is more a 70-30 split, so you see a lot more of the reunion, them in the studio, them rehearsing for the festival shows, a little bit of the old stuff, not too much though. Whereas, yeah, Blur is pretty much a 50-50 split. It's very interesting seeing the band back together, doing their new thing. They're coming out with album number 3 soon, and I'm really excited to hear what it sounds like. It's been a long time since we've heard the last from the Libertines. We've heard Baby Shambles, we've heard Dirty Pretty Things, we've heard The Jackals, but no straight Libertines. It's going to be awesome, and with this documentary, you can get, I don't know, a flavour of what's to expect in the new Libertines album. 3. Number 3 is Stone Roses, Made of Stone. Directed by Shane Meadows, huge British director, arguably the British auteur. Shane Meadows is really known for bringing attention to socio-political British issues. And to an extent, that really works with the Stone Roses. The Stone Roses were very much a band for the working man, so it really makes sense for Shane Meadows to work with them, I think. Plus, you can tell that his enthusiasm, this passion project for Shane Meadows really shines through. He doesn't do documentaries. As far as I know, this is his only documentary that he's done. But you can totally tell that he's putting his everything into making this film. So Shane Meadows is following the Stone Roses as they embark on their big reunion. The real big buzz though are these 3 homecoming gigs in Manchester at Heaton Park, and that's where the climax of the film is. For the briefest bit as well, I'm in this film. On their Warrington reunion show, their first show in 16 years, and we're front row. So keep an eye out. Next time you see the scene where they're doing I Wanna Be Adored in the Warrington Par Hall, we're front row. Me and Nick, who I run CAF with, we're there in the front row. Made of Stone really stands out for me because it shows how much of an impact the Stone Roses had on the fans. The fans are as much of a character in this film as any other band member. You can really see their impact on culture, especially in the Northwest. There's probably a half-hour segment shot outside of the Par Hall where it was that I got my tickets. And they're interviewing all these Stone Roses fans, and you can tell that their enthusiasm, it really was like all puns intended, a second coming. But before we get on to number 2, there really is no like subtle way of seamlessly hinting to hit the subscribe button. There really isn't. So this like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, just this awkward like, can you subscribe please? Yeah? Sound! Holy crap, it's a film that's not about a band reuniting. It might get loud. This one is sick. The backbone of it is it's a meeting between 3 of the greatest guitarists of the past 50 years. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin, The Edge from U2, Jack White from White Stripes Raconteurs and Jack fucking White. They're sat down just with guitars, FX pedals, amps, some record players and vinyls, and they just sat down having a chat about guitars. These chatty bits are half war stories from their careers and then half jam session where they all try out each other's songs on guitar. There's this moment where Jimmy Page, The Edge, and Jack White are just jamming out 7 Nation Army together. It's well good. There's a reason that this film stands at number 2 for me. It's 3 passionate dudes having a good chat about guitars. All 3 provide super interesting insight into what they do. 1. At number 1, we have Shut Up and Play the F***ing Hits. Shut Up and Play the Hits is a documentary by Dylan Southern and Will Lovelace, the guys who did Blur, No Distance Left to Run, and it's about the 48 hours surrounding and including LCD Soundsystem's last ever concert, sold out at Madison Square Garden. After 3 albums, James Murphy and co decide to call it a day for reasons explored within the film, and what you get in this film is a concert film mashed up with these really cool interview segments, beautiful, gorgeous cinematography of New York City, and just moments throughout that have given me absolute goosebumps when watching. You've never seen a farewell concert quite like this. You can feel the energy shine through everybody in the room, knowing that this is the last time anyone ever will get to see LCD Soundsystem live. And if you don't get hairs rising on the back of your arm when All My Friends comes on, I didn't know LCD Soundsystem before going into watching Shut Up and Play the Hits. I just heard that this was a really good film. I only knew Daft Punk is playing at my house, and that's not even in the film. As soon as I watched it and I got to know all about James Murphy and this band, and that they were calling it a day with only after 3 albums, absolutely mind-blowing. I was hooked instantly. I had to check out the albums. It's not just a concert film. It has this backbone of a really insightful interview with this pop culture writer called Chuck Klosterman, between him and James Murphy, discussing LCD, the legacy, why are they ending it now, trying to get to the roots of why the band had to end. That, the ending of All My Friends, and plenty of other moments make this my number 1 pick. It didn't even warrant second guessing. There's also special appearances from Reggie Watts and Arcade Fire. They come on stage and do North American Scum. If anything, it's just worth it to see an excitable Aziz Ansari crowd surfing to Yeah, just arms in the sky, really happy. So there you have it, my top 5 music documentaries. I genuinely would love to know what you think of these. Write it down below in the comments section, or tweet me at Johnny Beach, tweet me at CAF Tweets. Are there any that I've missed that have made you think, how the f*** has he forgot blank? Tuesday's video, we've got a funny one headed your way. It's called Shit You Need to Stop Saying to a DJ. I've got some more stories from when I've been DJing that I wanted to tell you about, so watch this space for that one. If you hit the subscribe button, then you'll be the first to catch that video the second it comes out. You'll probably get a thing on your phone saying, you know, CAF's just dropped shit, you need to stop saying to a DJ. So, yeah, I'll see you then. Last video that we ended with, it has me going, keep them peeled, and it was really corny. I have no idea how to end it this time. So, this weather's well good. I'm gonna go run out in the sun, catch a bare tan. I'm not really gonna do that. I get freckles and burn like a bitch. So, I'm just gonna sweat until the next video.